Life is simple now. It's 2022. Use what we have. If you don't like shopping, automate the shopping. What should we buy when we go to the grocery store, and how do we make it affordable? Which is in the free PDF, by the way. You can download this by joining my Facebook group with the link in the description. Remove all junk and sugar from your house and replace it with healthy snacks and sugars that are not as bad for you and harder to consume. We don't want to intentionally drink our sugar and our calories. We don't want to unintentionally drink Starbucks and oops, there's 60 grams of sugar. No, we want to intentionally do it in our protein shakes and smoothies and stuff like that, because that's intentional. That's done with intent in order for us to actually adhere to results. We have to replace that habit with another habit. So you can replace that really, really bad, addictive, super sugary habit with something a little bit more tame that's still going to satisfy you, but keep your psychology in check so you're not constantly craving ridiculous amounts of sugar. If I'm addicted to something, I'm not going to keep it in front of me, right? If I'm addicted to cigarettes, I'm not going to keep them in the house. That's just a bad way for me to quit this stuff. So keep that bad stuff out. We're taking all the actual bad stuff out of the house. Take the chocolate out, take the alcohol out, take the soda out, replace it with a reasonable alcohol like a seltzer, or maybe you only want to drink when you're going out, right? That's more responsible. And then what you want to do is you want to replace it with things like fruits, peanut butter, trail mix. Peanut butter is high in fat, so you have to be careful because fat has 9 calories per gram. We replace the alcohol with less quantities of alcohol that are more healthy. We replace the Starbucks with healthier coffee that is homemade and with little to no sugar. Removing all that, adding stuff in that's a little bit healthier and harder for you to overconsume by accident and drink too much of this stuff. We talked about eliminating all liquid calories and drinking more water. We got to talk about the second part here. You want to eat rather than drink those sugars. We're going to replace the sugars that you're craving at home with other healthier kinds of sugars like fruits. Guys, fruits are huge. I drop a banana into my morning protein smoothie with protein powder, a little bit of cinnamon to cut fat every day, or almost every day. When I don't drop that banana in the smoothie, there's something about it. It just lacks. Fruits have nutrients. Even if I take the same vitamins in supplement form, there's just something different about the way the banana hits. It has the folate, it has the fiber, and it has all of the micronutrients to make you feel alive. So eat fruits. Trail mixes with tiny amounts of sugar. Trail mix, for example, as a replacement to just straight up chocolate. Trail mix is good because it has fat in it from the nuts. The fat in nuts is going to be very satiating because, like we said, fat is 9 calories per gram, whereas protein and carbs are 4. So you're going to feel fuller faster. But what you don't want to do is, for example, you can have M&Ms, but you can't have M&Ms, peanut butter cups, and Greek yogurt, dark chocolate. No, get trail mix with only one kind of sugar in it. It has to be more healthy nuts in it than all that stuff. But again, healthy nuts are fat, so you want to be careful with the amount of fat that you're consuming. You really want to read the nutritional label and see what is the actual serving size of what I'm eating. Take out a cup measurement or a quarter cup or whatever, measure that out. You don't have to do that every single time, but it's about being aware of that. So the next time you can visualize how much it is that you're actually eating, you could be aware of it. You can't just go ahead and eat the entire thing and then had 3 full meals in the day plus a couple of snacks and then be like, why aren't I losing weight, right? The point of all this, guys, is save the sugar for when you actually account for those calories and want to have a dessert. Dessert should only be once every 2 to 3 days, 2 to 4 days kind of thing to have an actual dessert, like a piece of cheesecake or, I don't know, cake, cupcakes, cookies, Starbucks, ridiculous alcohol, soda, whatever it is. Those things with a high potent amount of sugar in them are really going to mess up your metabolism. They're going to mess up your glycemic index. They're going to mess up your insulin resistance. And that in turn is what is going to make you gain more weight naturally. So we want to avoid those things on a regular basis. And if we want to do that, we can enjoy those things. We can do that. We just have to account for the number of calories and to remember to account for not having a huge amount of sugar in your week throughout. So that's why it's important to limit your sugar to smaller quantities like that. Read the nutritional labels, not drink your sugar, drink water, drink coffee at home, put some flavoring in it, but control that, make it homemade. Take those things out of your house that are super bad, replace them with some moderately bad things. That way you can account for that sugar without messing up your metabolism. And then actually read the nutritional label on the back, read how many calories are in it, and read how much of a serving size is. And then here's the crazy part. You take a measurement cup and you actually measure out that serving size. You don't do that every time, but now you know that when you're consuming something, you'll just realize how much of it you're consuming based on you seeing it one time in the past. Definitely. And then the third thing, which ties into the second thing I just said, is to learn to read nutritional labels. This only takes about a week to get. The only thing I don't look at the nutritional label for often because there isn't one is meat. So sometimes there's a nutritional label for meat, sometimes there's not. But you can still use something like MyFitnessPal. It's a free app, MyFitnessPal. Again, not sponsored. Look at the weight of the meat, enter it in there, and look at the type of meat. You can enter it in there. MyFitnessPal is amazing for tracking calories. They literally have everything. Don't shop hungry. Shop after you've eaten a full healthy meal at home so you can remember how gratifying it feels to eat healthy. And that will subconsciously and consciously influence the decisions that you make at the store. If you don't like shopping, automate the shopping. Make it easier for you. Get not a meal, but a grocery delivery service. Meal delivery service, I don't believe it. I don't care about HelloFresh, no matter how convenient it is, blah, blah, blah. I just don't think that that's efficient for you because you're not actually learning the building blocks of what it is that's going to make you healthy. You should get a grocery delivery service if you really want to automate your life. Get something like Imperfect Foods. Again, hit me up, Imperfect Foods. This is not sponsored. Imperfect Foods, basically their marketing thing is they find foods that are cosmetically imperfect because the GMOs in there were modified perfectly, so the grocery stores can't sell them. They'll sell them to you at a discounted rate. They will deliver them right to your door. I think it's free over $60 in delivery. Otherwise, it's $5.99. Nowadays, I shop for my stuff myself because I like to see what's out in the stores. If that's just a big problem for you guys, life is simple now. It's 2022. Use what we have. It's super convenient. If you turn on bi-weekly delivery and get deliveries once every 2 weeks of $60 worth of groceries, now I got all my fruits, all my veggies for the week. I'll even buy rices and my other stuff there, whatever it is you want to buy. I don't like to buy my meats from Imperfect Foods because I just don't like the meat selection they have. At least last time I used it about a year ago, I believe that it is not a good deal financially. Now, other delivery services may have better deals, but the reason that I shop for meat deals in person is because they're just better deals in person. For example, we have a grocery store here in Ohio called Giant Eagle. You may have it in the rest of the United States also, but you may have other stores where there are similar deals. Like for example, at Giant Eagle, we have the 5 for $25 deal where you can get 5 pieces of meat in a certain section of the store that all of them will be $25 no matter what the price is on them. So I'll go pick 5 pieces of meat that are usually $10 each. Those are $50. I get it for $25. That's 50% off. So I think that's super important. And I like to have a large quantity of meat at home because of the effects that it has on testosterone levels, especially for me as a man. And animal fat is important in many other ways as well. Don't shop hungry. Look for meat deals. Automate your deliveries of groceries if you'd like to, if that's what's going to make life easier for you. Otherwise, prioritize veggies, fruits, prioritize complex carbohydrates that are low in the glycemic index like oatmeal. That's going to be important for your smoothies, things like brown rice, quinoa. I like to get brown rice or rice in general even. That is quick to cook, 20-minute rice rather than the 40-minute, just to make life easier. If you want to buy an air fryer, do that shit because that is the most effective thing that you could do for making your food more enjoyable and faster to cook as well. And potatoes. You can make some really nice air fried potatoes. Potatoes are very low on the glycemic index. They're a whole food. You can literally just eat potatoes for the rest of your life. I don't recommend doing that though, because you're probably not going to look very, do you even lift, bro? Second big one, veggies. We talked about the Alzheimer's diet. And if you're watching this on a replay or on a cut of a separate video that I made out of this live stream, Google the Alzheimer's diet and you'll realize why it's very important to eat dark green veggies every single day. Better yet, click here to watch this custom video that I made for you guys about the Alzheimer's diet. I'll summarize everything for you, and it will have a link in the description to the article talking about the Alzheimer's diet. You can click here to watch it now, or you can wait till the end, and I will link you to the video again. Enjoy. This is actually crucial. If I'm really hungry when I'm shopping at the store, and I recommend you skip this phase of your nutrition, you can buy whole protein bar packs, but I'll typically buy one protein bar so I can eat it on the way out of the store. So that way, that kind of satisfies my psychology, my dopamine, and I'm like, I'm still doing something, but I'm not going to buy a whole bowl of Chipotle or something. I'm going to buy my groceries and I'm walking out the store. I'm eating a protein bar. That satisfies that dopamine, that act of doing something, right? It feels good to spend money because it actually triggers our dopamine. So I'll spend money on something small, a $2 protein instead of a $14 bowl of Chipotle. And then I'll eat it, which will give me the dopamine gratification of that too. And I'll feel full. So I'll get that nice serotonin or whatever chemical that is, right? Now I can go home. Now I can actually cook and I can feel better about it because I'm not hungry as hell and I succumb to the instant gratification of buying fast food. But I would skip that entirely. If I were to recommend you an ideal situation, I would say buy protein powder. It's a lot cheaper per gram of protein that you're getting. Packs more of a punch for your wallet there rather than a protein bar. Make sure to buy healthy protein powders and healthy protein bars. They shouldn't be that expensive, guys. And that's why I say protein powder because it's typically way cheaper. Now, there are a lot of websites you can go to. There's a lot of places you can go to, but I would say a good protein powder is gonna be around $20. It's gonna have around 15 to 30 grams of protein in it, no less. It's gonna have 80 to 160 calories in it, no more. You wanna be careful if you have protein with creatine in it because creatine is gonna make you retain water weight. And if you're retaining water weight, that's going to make you look bigger, but it's also going to make you look more bloated too. So if you want to go lean, get a creatine free protein, no creatine. If you want to bulk up, then you can get a protein with creatine. I would not buy things like mass gainers. Mass gainers, even if you want to gain weight, they're kind of a waste of money. They're super expensive. Okay. It's not sustainable for you all long term. You could really get a lot more bang for your buck if you buy actual food and learn to eat properly. But yeah, that's protein for you there. I recommend you skip the phase of buying protein bar packs. It's not sustainable unless you really need the action of like, oh, I used to buy granola bars. Now I know granola bars are unhealthy because I read the nutritional label. So I'm going to replace them with protein bars. Quest Protein, One Protein bars. Those are healthy brands right there. Again, hit me up. We can make something happen. I'm not sponsored. These are the things I actually use. So yeah, get yourself a nice cheap chocolate flavored whey protein powder, vanilla, whatever it is. Make sure it doesn't have creatine in it if you're planning to slim down because creatine will make you bulk. Look, eating well to look slim thick is cool, but you want to live a long, healthy life. then you're going to want to watch this next video. It's called the Alzheimer's diet. There are certain things you guys can eat to actually prevent Alzheimer's. That's right. It's not just genetics. In this video, I basically summarize for you a 40-year study that was done by scientists, and I link you to the article in the description. Check it out.